number one, Michael Lewis, who's a chronicler of this, always has said from the start, the thing that was noticeable about the financial crisis was the almost complete absence of women as causative agents. Secondly, the primary big warners of what was going to happen, like Sheila Bair, et cetera, who were in positions of authority and influence, happened to mostly be women, disproportionately women in terms of, the people who were the sort of Cassandras who, were saying this isn't right. The other thing I think that doesn't get noticed is that there was a significant attrition of senior women at some of the organizations that were most notably implicated. I cite Citibank, for example, ahead of that crisis. Those women were leaving. So I think that there's plenty of evidence. I think that you can't necessarily make a case that that was the cause of it, or if women had been there, that it wouldn't have happened. I'm not willing to say that, but I do think that that what it indicated is a culture that was profoundly out of balance. And I don't necessarily see that having changed. I think that we have a lot of imbalance, and I'm not talking about so-called work-life balance. I'm just thinking about a balanced, holistic view of human life, really. Speak your own truth while avoiding cliches. I think that, to the extent that I've been successful, it's often because I really am perceived to some degree as a truth teller. I don't try to sugarcoat things. And part of the reason I don't is because I try to avoid a lot of the business buzzwords and cliches. A lot of leaders are, they're very happy to pick up on whatever the latest business term is. And I don't think it serves their credibility necessarily. So I'd say that that's one thing I've learned. The other big lessons I've learned, I think most people who have some success as leaders are good with, just to do a lot of preparation. And the other thing is, and I guess this is something people could learn from, I really work on being reflective and not jumping the gun. I can be kind of impulsive. I get a lot of satisfaction from getting things done and checking them off my list and feeling like I've accomplished something that day. But I really work hard to be reflective, and when I'm making a decision to put a lot of time into that. And if you're going to be reflective, you've got to carve out time to be reflective. You can't be reflective while you're multitasking. You can't be reflective while you're distracted. You can't be reflective when you're stressed out. I take responsibility. Lately, I've started working with some organizations on building peer coaching networks internally. And I love doing that work. What I love really looking at what these people who are part of the peer coaching networks or part of the pilots, what would be helpful to them, who would be the most helpful peer coach to them, how that would work. And what I find is when I do those programs, the time just flies, because when I do, I love doing leadership development work. I do a lot of it, but it's about me imparting things, and I have exercises and keep it interactive. Yes, but I'm the sort of person imparting things. And what I love about the peer coaching networks is in building that, it's about the other people. Discovered doing this is that it puts me in flow more easily because I'm not focused on content as much as helping them create a process. My dream for the future is to continue evolving what I'm doing for a long time. I've been inspired by the example of Frances Hesselbein and Peter Drucker. I found that with both of them, that as they got older, their gravitas and their wisdom and what they had to share was actually more and more valued. And I find a lot of people who do what I do being concerned, when I turn 70, who's going to want to hear from me. When I turn 75, I'll be over the hill. With young people, I hear people who do what I do say, my audience is getting younger and I'm getting older and it makes me feel self-conscious. But I look at Frances and Peter and I see how they never thought that. They felt that their value to people and to the world only increased as they got older. And I have been inspired by that, and I feel that that's something I would want to do. Whether I'm going to live into my 90s, I have no idea, of course. But I want to keep doing what I do. I'm not interested in getting out of it. I schedule plenty of relaxation for my time for myself as it is. I want to keep doing this, and I want to do it. And I want to do it a long time, and I want to know what that feels like to develop that wisdom and gravitas. And I didn't feel this way until recently. I felt it kind of hit me when I was at an event with Frances, and I saw how much she was contributing, and I thought, oh my Lord. If I kept out there as long as Frances, I'd be mid-career right now. So I decided to take that as my personal motto, mid-career at 65, and just see where this takes me. That's what I hope for people, that feeling of I am called to serve, because that's what is inspiring about the work. That's why you can, find some of the most motivated people in the country working in the U.S. military, and they're making, they're taking home $30,000, $40,000 a year. Yeah, they have good pensions, et cetera, et cetera. That's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because they feel called to serve. That is, I think, how we as humans want to feel. We want to feel that we're called to serve. And whatever we need to do in terms of our work that gives us that feeling, that's good.
Au revoir.